Dear students, it is the third video for week 9 and we are talking about external security threats and challenges to Pakistan. In this video, we are going to talk about Pakistan's relationship with Afghanistan. And in the first video, we explained the nature of relationships of India and Pakistan over the 70 years of the long history. That is the history of clashes, misunderstanding, and full-fledged military campaigns. Well, interestingly, Afghanistan has always been very important in history of Asia and especially in South Asia. The people of now India, Pakistan and Afghanistan has been a very good friend and foe throughout. Since the known history, after the Iranian Empire, the Indian rulers, they took control of most of India and even they took control of Afghanistan. For example, it is said in the times of Ashoka, in time of Gandhara civilization, and even after the Raja Jaipal, who invited, who was the even was controlling most of the areas of Afghanistan like Bamiyan and Kandahar and Kabul and the areas neighboring to the now borders of Pakistan. But having a sense of supremacy, he started fighting with a little Sultanate of Ghazni, and then Sultan of Ghazni had to make almost 17 successful attacks, and lastly he established the formal Islamic government in Punjab region, in Pakistan region, and later on Khiljis and Ghauris and many important leaders, they came to India and they ruled. The last significant combat was Ahmad Shah Abdali with the Marathas, and this was really a series of clashes with that region. Well, in 1947, when Pakistan came into being, Afghanistan was another neighbor that had not welcomed Pakistan because of the boundary disputes of the Durand Line. Durand Line basically a boundary demarcation between Afghanistan and the British India, right? Indian had British has made a boundary with consensus with the leaders of Afghanistan. Okay, when Pakistan came into being, the leaders and the public in Afghanistan started talking about those issues. Secondly, they were claiming the area KPK and Tel Rawalpindi, they claim in their Afghania or something. Secondly, Afghanistan remained a very good friend of India, and India and Afghanistan has both sandwiched Pakistan. Well, these relations remained volatile, but they never entered into the extents of acute clashes until it was 1979 when Russians entered into Afghanistan with the aim to control Afghanistan plus the control over the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean. This was a formidable plan and it gave opportunity to both Western world and Americans to curtail Russia and to means halt them Russians in that area. And secondly, they threatened Pakistan that if Pakistan didn't take any action, just like 1971, Russia will again break Pakistan into pieces, and India will shall slowly gobble all these areas. This was realized, and it was the time of Zia, and Jihad of Afghanistan started. A long story of bloodshed, fighting continued, and finally Russia had to retreat. But soon after that, again a threat happened that the country was left prone to the warlords. Warlords were controlling their areas, they were fighting, tension, killing, kidnapping, and much more. It was also a threat to the neighboring countries like Pakistan, Iran, China, and Turkmenistan, and other areas. Meanwhile, a power within Afghanistan emerged named as Taliban. They were the religious people and they started fighting. Soon, miraculously, they controlled most of the area and they were developing relations with the other nations. Pakistan thought it a chance to secure its borders and they had also a very good relations with Afghanistan. Resultantly, Pakistan became their very best friend and quite best friend. Time continued, but unfortunately in 2001, the collapse of Twin Towers 9/11, this was really a most dangerous and vulnerable time for Afghanistan and the regions. Americans decided, Americans invaded Afghanistan and they destroyed the government of Taliban. They forced Pakistan to become ally and Pakistan supported. This gave opportunities to the international powers, especially the arch enemy India, America, and Israel, plus the other countries. They invested in Afghanistan and a series of wars started. Okay, India made extraordinary, huge development investment in Afghanistan. They backed up the terrorist groups. Most of their camps were along the borders of Pakistan. And since 2001 till 2020, at this present hour, Pakistan is facing shelling, fighting, border uh, fighting, both from Afghanis being backed up by Indians, and even the Pakistan had faced losses from the NATO forces and American forces who blamed that the Taliban launched their attacks from the Pakistanis territories. This was a worst event. India got many successes and kept destabilizing Pakistan by using Afghanis in KPK and other areas internally and also launched attacks. They had established training centers. But again, a change happened that China and Russia they developed a bloc against America, and meanwhile, the Taliban started winning the war. This was a frightening dream for Americans. But the reality was that they had to bear a huge loss in terms of economics and lives. Donald Trump he came in power and he decided not to continue this war. And then in Doha, the Afghan leaders, Taliban's Afghan government, and Americans plus the other stakeholders of Afghanistan make an agreement that America will soon vacate Afghanistan. Okay, then again, in the most recent time, the development is that an agreement has been happened between America, Taliban, and the Afghanistan government about a possible solution of Afghanistan tension. Now, recent times, Prime Minister Imran Khan has visited Afghanistan and assured Afghans of their full support. Now, Pakistan is slowly removing the clutches of India and is hoped to have saved the borders. If Afghanistan is under the control of Taliban's, Pakistan will be able to save its lands, and it is in most in favor of Pakistan. I hope that you have understood the nature of relations with Afghanistan. Let me precisely express during line issue. Pakistan's blame that Pakistan is backing up Taliban's. Okay. Also, Pakistan is blamed that Pakistan has helped Americans in the war of terrorism. Okay. And India is fighting a war from both ends, their her own borders and from the borders of Afghanistan. And India is also taking some other countries in this situation, and the cases like Kulbhushan Yadav is happening. Thank you.